You know what? Good morning, good morning. We are going to verify the stream is actually up on all three. Because I noticed after the stream yesterday, it wasn't even streaming on YouTube, which was kind of whack. Kick is good. Oh, you know what? My hotkey for Twitch, though, it goes to twitch.tv. It doesn't even go to my channel. I need to swap that sometime. Twitch is good. And YouTube is good. I have a whole bunch of clips too. I gotta make another little compilation video. We're gonna finish up the Angel video today. What time is it? 10? I'm tired as fuck. I'm gonna try to stay up till 1 or 2. So a 3 or 4 hour stream today. Then I'm also waiting on my real estate lady. I'm trying to get. They want me to pay a down deposit and 2 months rent, which is pretty normal. But I want direct contact information with my new landlady, and I've just been contacting her through her like business email. And if she's not using like a property management group this time, because she's getting rid of the old one, I need to have some point of contact information before I send that much money over to them. We'll see. They want to get paid by today, but I am on the night schedule, and if I don't get that stuff, then I feel uncomfortable sending that amount of money that way. That would be a little wild. But it's kind of nice. The house is like a few blocks away from here. It's not too bad. Ooh, bad. It's not as nice as the house I'm in right now, though, unfortunately. Let's see. But we're going to warm up on Arena with that little AK-12 I have right there. I think I have like 12 or 8 more kills on Lighthouse, and then after that, I think it's the RPDN. And then, yeah, I don't know. We're just going to warm up on Arena and then slide over to Tarky here in a little bit. We're just going to do last hero. We might do a DMR. I feel like that kind of helps me out. It's like required for me to warm up, though. Alright, we're going to slide over.
Implies that they're hooved. As for the 4 faces, from a symbolism standpoint, these have been interpreted in many convoluted ways, but the simplest answer is that the man represents humanity, the lion represents wild animals, the ox represents domestic animals, and the eagle represents birds. And birds in the Bible are often a symbol of far-seeing wisdom. On that note, the word cherub is actually a Hebrew term that translates to fullness of wisdom. Like the seraphim, the cherubim almost always remain in close proximity to God, whether he's sitting on his sapphire throne or riding his flaming chariot. So what exactly do they do in his presence? Well, when Ezekiel saw these beings, they were the ones responsible for making the wheels of God's chariot move. Similarly, the second book of Samuel describes God as literally mounting the cherubim, flying through the sky and soaring on their wings. So it wouldn't be a stretch to say that these creatures are like horses and his means of locomotion on Earth, and perhaps all throughout the universe. But without a doubt, the cherubim are known to play another role, and interestingly, some assigned to this role are forced to leave God's presence. In the book of Genesis, where after Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden, God assigned a troop of cherubim to guard the garden's east side entrance and patrol the path leading to the Tree of Life. But considering that these beings are capable sentries and protectors, and most of them remain at their master's side, it seems very likely that the cherubim could also be God's personal guard, much like how a king requires nearby protection at all times. This is suggested by the fact that the books of Isaiah, Psalms, and 2 Kings all use a very specific phrase describing God as, quote, enthroned between the cherubim, end quote. Furthermore, metal sculptures of specifically cherubim and no other angel were used to decorate both King Solomon's temple and the Ark of the Covenant, with strong implications that their imagery provided some kind of protection. So while it's never explicitly stated, guard duty might actually be the primary role of the creatures of the second choir. But there is one often forgotten connection to make with the cherub.
Work time, baby. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I'm like tired as fuck too. Alright. We'll warm up with the AK-12 being I gotta use it for test drive 3. Yeah, I think I need like 8 or 10 more kills. Went fucking ham yesterday. fuck. Alright. Alright, fucking cheater. Just kidding, just kidding. Oh my god, man. Thank god I started on Arena, dude. Holy shit. Ah, damn it. If we can stay positive, I'm gonna be a happy boy. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, dude. No! Punk ass bitch. No! I feel like I should have got that. Fuck you. No! I even tagged him, bro. It doesn't even show a hit. No! Dude, I knew... fuck. I'm so fucking dead. Ah, I was trying to get another kill before I went down. Well, we're staying positive, though. No, dude! I fucking deserved that one, dude. Oh. trouble. No. No. I don't know if I could take first. Fuck, dude. I kind of knew I wasn't gonna win that one. Ah. Fuck, bro. I feel like I should have won that one, but it's whatever. No, dude, what the f- Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking A, bro. I was looking the wrong way, dude. Fuck. Fucking punk. No! Oh my god. No! Fuck you. No, what am I doing? Oh, I didn't know this to my left. Oh, I'm positive. I'm doing fine, dude. Well, I think we're gonna go to the DMR. Server fucking pulls me out. I have to alt F4.
The most powerful testament that these beings are far more complex and capable than the scriptures describe. The same Ezekiel who first witnessed these creatures, 28 chapters later, went on to record the words delivered to him from God. Words which recounted the origin of a certain biblical figure. Quote, "You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the fiery stones. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you, and you sinned. So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God, and I expelled you, guardian cherub, from among the fiery stones." End quote. Some of you may recognize these infamous verses as the story of the angel Lucifer's fall from heaven and his transformation into Satan, the devil. Seeing as how Jesus Christ referred to Satan as the ruler of this world, this really emphasizes just how little we know about what sounded thus far like a rather simple creature. Therefore, it would be wise to apply the same sort of thinking to all other angelic species, too. But if you think we've reached the bottom of the barrel of the mysteries of the cherubim, there's actually one final puzzle to confuse things completely, and that's that the Book of Revelation describes an angelic species that sounds an awful lot like a hybrid of both seraph and cherub. Quote, "Round about the throne were 4 beasts, full of eyes before and behind, and the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had a face of a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come." End quote. So, like the seraphim witnessed by Isaiah, these creatures have 6 wings and are...
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just took a shit. I need to do at least 3 rounds to kind of warm up, to be honest. That was a pretty good first round. But, yeah, we're definitely going to do at least 1 or 2 more. I kind of want to play with the SR-25 for a little bit too. I don't know what happened. It wouldn't load me out of the freaking game, dude. It's fine. I will go back to it.
are in constant singing worship of God. And like the cherubim seen by Ezekiel, 3 of the 4 creatures have the face of an animal, with the 4th having the face of a human. However, all have only 1 face each, unlike the traditional 4-faced cherub. So, did John, the author of the Book of Revelation, describe this creature accurately? Or might he have seen the seraphim and the cherubim, but accidentally mixed them together when remembering his vision? But what's even weirder is that it seems John also threw a 3rd angelic species into the mix, because he deliberately used the same disturbing description twice, that each creature was full of eyes. A terrifying profusion of eyes happens to be a main feature of the angels next on our list, the 3rd choir, and the lowest of the 1st sphere. Finally, we return to the unforgettable Ophanim, the literal wheels of God's chariot, and these make up the 3rd choir. As described by Ezekiel, each of these angels are made up of 2 intersected wheels, both covered in eyes. He didn't clarify whether these eyes looked human, but it's usually interpreted that way. That doesn't make them any less alien, though, and this particular feature is only one of the Ophanim's many oddities. To begin, a wheel within a wheel appearance conjures a strong feeling that this creature might not be from this dimension, and this theory is actually backed up by Ezekiel's observation that the Ophanim never seem to shift their position, despite any change in direction. The prophet reported, quote, "As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the cherubim faced. The wheels did not change direction as the creatures went." End quote. So, if we take a step back from the scripture and look at this from a more modern scientific lens, there's actually some sense to be made of this visual phenomenon. According to mathematical theory, if creatures from the 4th dimension or beyond exist, they'd be more than capable of navigating our dimension, just like how we in the 3rd dimension can navigate a 2-dimensional video game. But due to these creatures existing in a more geometrically complex space, our ability to actually see them is extremely limited. In most cases, a higher dimensional creature will simply be invisible to us, unless they make themselves visible at a very specific angle. And in the case that they do, their movement will be visually confusing or impossible for us to comprehend. The interdimensional theory definitely has some credence, especially with the traditional religious belief that angels are residents of the ethereal realm. That said, this mystery isn't the only one stemmed from the strange descriptions of the Ophanim's movement. In Ezekiel's account, he makes it clear that the Ophanim don't move on their own, but are set into motion and even steered by the cherubim. Quote, "When the living creatures, the cherubim, moved, the wheels beside them moved, and when the living creatures rose from the ground, the wheels also rose. The spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels." End quote. If the Ophanim require the cherubim to move, then we really have to wonder if the Ophanim are actually independent angelic creatures. The eyes definitely make them appear alive, but what if they're literally just wheels? This is worth thinking about because Ezekiel goes out of his way to identify the cherubim as living creatures, while describing the Ophanim as not much more than freaky-looking wheels that don't move on their own. On the other hand, one of the Dead Sea Scrolls, 4Q405, does explicitly identify the Ophanim as angels, and the apocryphal Book of Enoch describes them as celestial beings who actively perform a function, guarding the throne of God. But since that's the same role as a cherubim, again, they seem to be directly tied to those beings, so this is yet another unsolved mystery. But returning back to biblical canon, Ezekiel's vision isn't the only description of the Ophanim. The Book of Daniel also contains a vision of God's throne, and states, quote, "His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire," end quote. Again, we see a clear association between angels and fire. In Ezekiel's vision, he only mentioned them sparkling like topaz, but it's possible this was just a poetic interpretation of the Ophanim's blazing flames. And that about covers the first sphere. But before we jump down to the second sphere, there are two mysterious beings mentioned in the Bible that you may have never heard of, or never considered might be unrecognized species of angels. And this is where we're getting really obscure, but as any theologian will tell you, the scripture is heavily embedded with hidden information and little secrets that require a very close look. And these two creatures might be examples of that. Definitely let me know whether you think these are angels in the comments below. The first of these is mentioned only once in the Bible, and specifically in the book of Genesis. After God banished Adam and Eve, quote, "At the east of the Garden of Eden, he placed the cherubim and a flaming sword that turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life," end quote. This verse seems to imply that, just like the cherubim, this flaming sword was assigned to guard the entrance to Eden. Traditionally, it was interpreted as a weapon given to the cherubim. However, there are reasons to believe this flaming sword may actually be a living entity, an angelic species, unlike any we've encountered thus far. First off, this sword is apparently capable of movement, turning in every direction at its post. And the actual Hebrew term used to describe the sword, lahat cherub, literally translates to flame of the whirling sword, which not only emphasizes its movement, but doubles down on its fiery nature, implying that the object or creature itself is more flame than sword. And of course, the association with fire makes the angel theory all the more likely. Unfortunately, since this is the only mention of this strange flaming sword in biblical canon, we're left to wonder what this thing may have actually been. As for our second speculative angelic species, the second book of Kings describes the following, quote, "There appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven, and Elisha saw it, and he cried," end quote. This was the last time the prophet Elijah was seen on earth, making him one of the mere handful of humans believed to have entered heaven alive. This vision, though, of burning chariots and horses in the sky was seared into the mind of Elijah's protege, Elisha, who would inherit the role of God's chosen prophet. And apparently, Elisha inherited these chariots and horses too. While it's implied that only Elisha could see them, others being wholly unaware, make no mistake, these beings were apparently very real, and their presence would be vital to some of Elisha's greatest military victories. The following is one such event involving this haunting invisible army of his. Quote, "When the servant got up and went out early the next morning, an army with horses and chariots had surrounded the city. 'Oh no, my lord, what shall we do?' the servant asked. 'Don't be afraid,' the prophet answered. 'Those who are with us are more than those who are with them.' And Elisha prayed, 'Open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see.' Then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha." End quote. Alright, the natural question to ask first is whether these horses and chariots are one angelic species, or perhaps two. Strangely, none of the verses that mention these creatures describe any riders or drivers in the chariots, so it wouldn't be a stretch to wonder whether these chariots themselves are alive, much like the wheels of God's throne, the Ophanim. This mystery doesn't end with Elisha, though, because the book of Zechariah contains an instance where the prophet Zechariah met an angel riding on a red horse, and not long after he encountered 4 chariots, each powered by strangely colored horses, but no angels riding them. Quote, "There before me were 4 chariots coming out from between 2 mountains. The first chariot had red horses, the second black, the third white, and the fourth spotted, all of them powerful. I asked the angel who was speaking to me, 'What are these, my lord?' The angel answered me, 'These are the 4 spirits of heaven,'" end quote. So if we interpret this passage literally, the angel is calling each of the 4 chariots and their respective horses a single being, counting exactly 4 spirits of heaven. And while he doesn't refer to them as angels, calling them spirits of heaven strongly implies it. What's confusing, though, is that Zechariah's chariots are very different in appearance and number compared to Elisha's flaming legion. Nonetheless, these beings really seem to fit the bill, and it's possible that there are still hidden details about them waiting to be uncovered by a careful reader. It's now time to dive into the second sphere, and it's very much unlike the first. Instead of boldly discovering new angelic species, we'll get to experience the joy of heaven's bureaucracy, because while we have no idea what these angels look like, we do know what they do, and the creatures of the second sphere are essentially middle management. While the first sphere passes down orders and communications from God, the second sphere makes God's will happen. They do this by assigning duties to the third sphere angels below. Dionysius describes those in the second sphere as, quote, true lords, perpetually aspiring to true lordship, and they providentially fashion themselves and those below them as far as possible into the likeness of true lordship. They do not turn towards vain shadows, but wholly give themselves to that true authority, end quote. So be assured that heaven's middle management are ethical, inspiring beings, which is good because these three angelic choirs are pretty darn important. On top of being essentially heaven's project managers, they also use their own special powers to regulate the forces of the universe. As before, the Bible is our source for the sacred knowledge, and specifically the key details found in the epistle to the Ephesians. The first choir of the second sphere is known as the dominions. These are angels of leadership and the true lords Dionysius was raving about. The dominions' role is simple. They make the commandments of God known to the lower spheres and assign duties to their subordinates wherever they see fit. The second choir of the second sphere is called the virtues, and this angelic group is responsible for the continued operation of the universe and its worlds, including our own. The virtues are sometimes referred to as the spirits of motion because...
Oh, we're done. There we go, DMR. I didn't even see what map we're going to. Charge your phone. Oh my god, I gotta deal with this stupid fucking backside. Fuck, this is gonna take a second to warm up. That motherfucker twice, bro. No! Damn, bro. Yo, his helmet bounced 5 fucking rounds, dude. How do I not have that unlocked? Oh, close, bro. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to do another map.
They're believed to be responsible for natural cycles, such as the changing of the seasons and the orbits of celestial objects. Simply put, they exercise complete control over the elements of nature. The third and lowest choir is referred to as the powers, and their primary responsibility couldn't be more different than the two choirs above them, because the powers are in fact warrior angels, the angelic choir assigned by God to be heaven's primary military force in the never-ending war between good and evil. They engage in spiritual combat against the demonic choirs of hell, Satan's own counterparts to the powers. In my video, Demonology Explained in Obsessive Detail, we explore the distinctly military-like hierarchies of the fallen angels and their demonic legions. But this lore comes less from the Bible, and more from the reasoning and speculation of Christian mystics and occultists. So where did they get these ideas in the first place? Well, it was probably inspired by the lore of the powers, which is 100% canon. In countless biblical verses, beginning in the book of Genesis and spanning all the way to Revelation, ancient Hebrew military terminology is used to describe the angelic army's chain of command, combat operations, and even their
Is this Bay 5? I think it's Bay 5. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh my god, he literally went all the way around me, bro. That was... Oh, fucker. I didn't even hit him one time, dude. No fucking way, dude. No. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you, hood boy. surprised not one of those shots hit him. What? What? Alright, it's whatever. Fuck you and shotgun, bitch. Ah. No, damn it. That audio cue gave away my position. How do you kill someone so quick like that? No. I should have ADS. What the fuck was I doing? Damn, bro. How the fuck you get me from all the way over there? Oh my god. I could not figure out what fucking direction, to be honest. Wanted to be Hood Boy, man. Too much ammo. That should be warmed up enough. We'll send some minis over.
Base camp. So, to the credit of the demonologists, if heaven is so equipped to battle against their enemy, this simple fact suggests that Satan's legion poses a very similar threat. Certain Bible verses also confirm that hell is a tough enemy. One of the most famous quotes from Revelation depicts the powers staving off an invasion of heaven. Quote, "And there was war in heaven, Michael and his angels waging war with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels waged war." End quote. The dragon, of course, is the devil, Satan, and his angels are what Christians refer to as fallen angels. Many theologians speculate that these heavenly soldiers may also be God's mercenaries, the specific term being the destroyer angels, sometimes known as the angels of death. Their terrible destructive potential serves at least one known purpose: to pass merciless judgment on us humans. The raw punishing power of the destroying angel is shown in the second book of Samuel. Quote, "And when the angel stretched out his hand over Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord relented from the destruction and said to the angel who was destroying the people, 'It is enough, now restrain your hand.'" End quote. It says a lot when God has to tell a destroyer angel that they went a little too far with their destroying. But if you're looking for raw numbers, in the second book of Kings, a single one of these angels killed 185,000 Assyrian soldiers overnight, with such ease that the Hebrews didn't even know what happened until they woke up the next morning and saw the mountain of corpses. But that's still baby damage compared to what was prophesied in the book of Revelation, where just 4 angels judge the entirety of mankind and end up killing 1/3 of the world's population. But while the roles played by the powers definitely emphasize the violent side of these beings, at the end of the day, they're actually not so different from the 2 choirs above them, the dominions and the virtues. All angels of the second sphere help regulate the universe at large, and the powers are simply responding to that which offsets or threatens the moral balance established by God. Finally, we reach the third sphere, the holy angels furthest from God and the closest to humanity. These are the angels who we meet most in the Bible, the ones who delivered commandments, revelations, and assistance to people. Unlike these spheres above, the third sphere is in continual direct contact with our kind. These are the beings that popularize the only somewhat accurate idea that angels are messengers, the intercommunicators between God and humanity. In fact, in Greek, the word for angel is angelos, and in Hebrew, it's malach, both of which literally translate to messenger. However, this term was used in the old sense, when a messenger wasn't only a deliverer of messages, but had the far more general goal of doing the bidding of their master and carrying out their will. That being said, angels delivering communications from God was extremely common in the Bible. While there are countless examples, the best known is in the Gospel of Luke, where the Archangel Gabriel delivered 2 positive pregnancy prophecies, alerts of the incoming births of John the Baptist and later Jesus Christ. This was much to the shock of the husbands, of course, since John's mother was far past menopause and Jesus' mother was a virgin. So some of these angels were definitely messengers as we think of them today. But as we dive into the third sphere, you'll see that their roles were far more than just this. To begin, the first choir of the third sphere are actually the angels most of us probably considered the closest to God. And we wouldn't be at fault for believing so, because the Bible and other religious texts really seem to place so much emphasis on the power and importance of these beings, who are, of course, the archangels. There is a lot of ground to cover on the archangels, so we'll actually revisit them in depth in just a few minutes, but for now, here are a few key details about them. The archangels are typically thought to be the very few angels the Bible actually refers to by name, and whenever they show up, it's usually a critical moment for humanity. Their primary responsibility is to communicate and execute God's plans for mankind, and as the archangel's title implies, they are the chief angels of the highest authority, at least in the third sphere. The second choir of the third sphere is known as the principalities, and each of these angels are assigned to their own domain on Earth. They oversee their assigned community, whether it be a humble town or an entire kingdom, providing protection and guidance. They do have a very particular trend in the Bible, though, because the principalities seem to be heavily concerned with events where power is transitioned between earthly rulers. These are the times when they very directly influence the course of history, such as appearing to kings to give advice and prophecies. The role of the principalities naturally requires these angels to be in constant observation of their domain, and this brings up another name for these angels. The principalities are also known as the Watchers. The biblical Aramaic term that's usually translated to watcher is actually an adjective, meaning ever awake and always watching. That alone can help explain why these particular angels have been the subject of strange and disturbing theories, fueled ever further by the Bible's characteristic lack of explanation. In traditional belief, though, the Watcher's main purpose is to observe the movements of humans, particularly those in power, and report their actions directly to God. But on occasion, they are also known to get involved and directly influence the course of history. In the book of Daniel, there are 3 explicit mentions of Watchers doing this, 2 of which repeat the same description. Quote, "A watcher, a holy one, coming down from heaven." End quote. This deliberate detail that the Watcher was a holy one seems to imply that there are also unholy Watchers. And this is a bit more than concerning, because not only are they constantly observing and reporting, but also actively influencing the leaders of this world. The third choir of the third sphere are the personal guardian angels, the last and lowest of the 9 angelic choirs. In Christianity, it's strongly thought that all believers are assigned their own guardian angel, and this idea actually does have biblical roots, specifically from the book of Psalms, Psalm 91. Quote, "If you say, 'The Lord is my refuge,' he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways." End quote. So to answer the popular question, does everyone have a guardian angel? The biblically accurate answer is, they're only assigned to true believers. These angels are shown many times helping believers in danger. For example, in the Gospel of Matthew, an angel warns Joseph to take Mary and the baby Jesus and flee to Egypt for their survival. Other guardian angels are shown answering desperate prayers and even comforting believers in their time of death. However, there is one big exception. Helping people out might not always be part of God's plan, and guardian angels don't make exceptions to his will. It's important to learn this lesson before putting your safety in their hands. As the epistle to the Hebrews warns, quote, "Some true believers faced jeers and flogging, and even chains and imprisonment. They were put to death by stoning. They were sawed in two. They were killed by the sword. Persecuted and mistreated, they wandered in deserts and mountains, living in caves and holes in the ground. These believers were all commended for their faith, yet none of them received what they had been promised, since God had planned something better." End quote. Even Jesus Christ himself, the mortal incarnation of God on earth, was not immune to the plans of God. When Jesus was arrested in the Gospel of Matthew, he asserted, quote, "Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way?" End quote. The ending of this well-known event is no surprise. Not a single guardian angel came to save Jesus from the cross because his successful crucifixion was required by God's master plan. Regardless, the personal guardian angels are without a doubt the furthest angels from God, because they remain so close to humanity. In fact, the epistle to the Hebrews states that these angels often walk among us in human form, totally indistinguishable from the everyday people of our community. Therefore, beyond protecting us, it's strongly believed that these angels are actively involved in testing our faith and character. So remember to always treat strangers kindly. And that wraps up the 9 choirs, the 3 spheres of angels, ranked according to their proximity to God. But as promised, we're going to take a far closer look at the archangels, because every angelologist should know exactly who these famous angels are. To begin, I'll mention again that the archangels have a very important job, at least from the perspective of us humans, because they're responsible for carrying out God's plans for mankind. These are truly capable and blessed angels, far more powerful than the majority of their angelic peers in heaven, hell, and on earth. But to be clear, the entire Bible only identifies one specific angel as an archangel, and that's Michael, who's referred to with that title in the Epistle of Jude. And the only other canonical mention of the term archangel is found in the first epistle to the Thessalonians, which only mentions the voice of an archangel without identifying them. While these mentions are enough to show that this angelic rank exists, it's absolutely possible that Michael may be the only one to hold this rank. But most churches and believers think otherwise. Most Christian traditions venerate exactly 7 archangels, although their exact identities differ depending on what source or authority they rely on. For example, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church identifies these 7 archangels as Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Rigel, Phanuel, and Sachiel, a list taken from the Book of Enoch. The Ethiopian Orthodox tradition is unique in the Christian world, though, because they treat the Book of Enoch as biblical canon, as opposed to apocryphal lore. In a similar manner, the Eastern Orthodox Church identifies these 7 archangels as Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Camael, Jophiel, and Zadkiel. And they took this list from the expert on angelic hierarchy, Dionysius, whose work was a huge influence in their tradition. While the Eastern Orthodox Church openly acknowledges the existence of thousands of archangels, interestingly, they only venerate these 7 by name. But you're probably wondering, 7 is a very specific number, so where does this concept actually come from? Well, even though it's not part of the Jewish canon, it actually derives from early Jewish mystical writings, and specifically the Book of Tobit, written in the 3rd century BC. In this work, one of the most commonly venerated archangels, Raphael, makes it known, quote, "I am Raphael, one of the 7 angels who stand in the glorious presence of the Lord, ready to serve him," end quote. The Book of Tobit, by the way, is considered canon today by both the Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches, despite neither agreeing on who exactly these 7 archangels are. So clearly, this muddy realm of Christianity remains in the throes of identity crisis to this day. However, there are 3 angels that are virtually recognized by all major Christian traditions as holders of this rank. Michael is the most obvious, due to his rank being canonical, and we just met Raphael. And the 3rd archangel agreed to hold this rank is Gabriel. Finally, there's a very common 4th angel that's not universally accepted, but nevertheless is agreed to be an archangel by many Christian traditions, and that's Uriel. So let's take a minute and explore these 4 angels, and perhaps speculate on one more. In Hebrew, the name Michael translates to "who is equal to God," and that's meant as a question, by the way. From the earliest days of Christian artwork, Michael was usually depicted in a militaristic role, holding a spear or sword, and using this weapon to pin Satan to the ground. If we assume that the rank of archangel has its own sub-hierarchy, Michael would definitely take the crown as the most important, because out of all the places on earth, God designated him as the defender of Israel. The book of Deuteronomy reads, quote, "For you, Israel, are a people holy to the Lord, your God. The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the peoples on the face of the earth to be his people, his treasured possession," end quote. As the one given responsibility over God's land, people, and greatest treasure, we have to assume that Michael's power is the highest of all angels. However, there is one disturbing exception. The angel arguably more powerful than Michael is Satan. We know this because in the Epistle of Jude, it's recorded, quote, "But even the archangel Michael, when he was disputing with the devil about the body of Moses, did not himself dare to condemn him for slander, but said, 'The Lord rebuke you,'" end quote. Clearly, Michael refrained from offending or challenging Satan directly, and that showed that Michael actually held fear of the devil's powers. That being said, the Book of Revelation prophesies that he would eventually edge a victory over the infamous fallen angel, who took the form of a giant red dragon with 7 heads, 7 crowns, and 10 horns. This battle was intense and a close match, but in the end, Michael did win. There are 2 things to consider though. The first is that this battle takes place in a future timeline, and it's unknown how much time and effort Michael took to finally gain the strength to defeat the devil. There are
They like blurred out Satan's tits, dude. What the fuck is this?
2 things to consider though. The first is that this battle takes place in a future timeline, and it's unknown how much time and effort Michael took to finally gain the strength to defeat the devil. The second thing is that while Michael and his army were technically victorious, they only ended up casting the red dragon out of heaven and onto earth, where the dragon continued to attack other targets, seemingly unharmed. That really speaks to how powerful the devil is, who, according to the Bible, was not an archangel, but a mere cherub. The next archangel that always makes the list is Raphael. Despite not being named in the Bible, he's the key figure of the Book of Tobit, a scripture considered canon by the largest Christian denomination in the world, Catholicism. In the Book of Tobit, Raphael is sent by God to assist the main character, a pious man named Tobit who suffers many problems, the main ones being issues in his marriage, lack of money, a demon named Asmodeus haunting his sister, as well as the fact that Tobit couldn't see anything because he was blind. In Hebrew, Raphael's name translates to, "It is God who heals," so it shouldn't be surprising that Raphael solved Tobit's problems completely. And while the story of the Book of Tobit is definitely more complex than that, Tobit himself had a very happy ending thanks to this archangel. We saw that Michael embodied both the role of the archangel and the principality as an assigned authority of Israel, and similarly, Raphael is clearly associated with 2 distinct roles. The Book of Tobit strongly implies that he's an archangel, and no one can deny that he was also the personal guardian angel of Tobit. And like other guardian angels, Raphael also disguised himself as a totally normal human being. In artwork, there's the popular image of Raphael helping Tobit catch a huge fish, but when he's shown alone, he's usually depicted holding a staff, alluding to his healing nature. The Book of Tobit from the 2nd century BC is actually not the first to mention Raphael as an archangel, by the way. That honor goes to the Book of Enoch, written in the 3rd century BC. And so the idea of the archangel Raphael is truly ancient, even if it isn't biblical canon. The third entity found in every list of the 7 archangels is Gabriel, the angel who famously delivered the most important prophecy in the Christian Bible, that the Virgin Mary would give birth to the mortal incarnate of God himself, Jesus Christ. Gabriel's name is specifically mentioned 4 times in the Bible, and while he's not specifically identified as an archangel, the simple fact that he's given a name and...
Ooh. JMS, I appreciate it, man. Where the hell did you come from, though? We're loading into... It is... this work done. We're gonna push this spawn ahead of me. Let's see if we can smoke this dude. Holy fucking balls, bro. I did not kill him. GG's, Osid boy. Just wanted to give you a follow and say GG's. Oh, bro, man, you were kicking fucking ass, dude. Now, I was just warming up, basically. I did start off with the AK-12 just in preparation for Test Drive Part 3. And, yeah, I don't know. I was building up the P90, man. Or, yeah. And I got the suppressor for it. But, yeah, dude, you kicked fucking ass. I think you had over, like, 50 kills or whatnot. I was getting close to you for a little while, and then I just kind of fell off. I was like, alright, fuck this shit, man. I'm sucking balls. But I appreciate it, man. Well, I did not kill that fucking guy, and my class 5 plate saved my ass, though. Oh, bro, you must have, man, with that fucking kill count, to be honest, man. Yeah, we're doing like a work exercise, man, for the next 2 weeks, and they swapped my schedules. So, like, I'm working nights right now for the remainder of this week and next week, and bro, I'm tired as fuck right now, but I have to force myself to stay up for another 2-3 hours to retain this sleep schedule, though, unfortunately. I did drink half a Red Bull, though, man, and some coffee, so we're going to fucking get it. Where the fuck did this guy go? Alright, we're going to push it. Were you able to knock out your dailies, though, before you head off to work, man? We're just going to PK and send it. Dude probably fucking rotated. I did nights for 5 years, and my third kid came and had to go to second. Bro, 3 kids, man, that's a fucking, that's a lot of fucking work. Ah! No! That's a lot of fucking work, man. My dad raised us 3 boys solo, dude. He was active duty. He was a staff sergeant. And that's the rank I'm at right now, dude. I couldn't imagine that with 3 fucking hyperactive boys, dude. That was a smart play on Homeboy's part, man. He rotated downwards. I thought I fucking heard something towards the water that wasn't waves. Damn, dude. I could have got that too. I don't know. I gotta get a couple kills. I'm at 10 of 20 right now. But I feel it. Bro, there's extra money too on off shifts too, man. It's not too bad. Oh, dude, yeah, without a doubt. I got a few buddies that have some kiddos too, and yeah, they only have limited time to game and whatnot, especially with Tarkov too, dude. So they're just a little bit back and forth, to be honest, man. They got priorities, to be honest, dude. Understandable though. 2 boys and a girl, man. I mean, at least your kids have siblings, dude. So my brother's growing up, dude. We'd always have like the neighborhood kids come by, like hey Jason, what are you and your brothers doing? And I don't know, we'd go play at the park or whatever we were doing. But yeah, fuck being a solo kid, man. Although granted, I did fight with my brothers quite a bit, but I don't know. I'm close as fuck with all of them, dude. It's kind of nice. Oh, bro, you want to know what sucks? So I'm a 51 right now, and I should be. I had to take 2 months off, man. So I took a month of leave to go home and see family and a wedding, and I had to go bury my mom too. And then after that month of leave, I came back to work, and I got sent on a month-long TDY, and I was gone for two whole fucking months. So there ain't no way I'm hitting Prestige 4. I will hit Prestige 3, but unfortunately, man, yesterday though, Nikita said that he's gonna make it a softcore wipe, so I can't catch that achievement for Kappa, dude. Even though I'm so fucking close, it kind of blows. I mean, I got some kills I gotta do. This would probably take me like a week or so. And then I gotta find one teapot that, for some fucking reason, I can't find a teapot. And then obviously an evasion. That's my last item. But we're making progress though, man. It's not too shabby. I do enjoy Arena though, man. It's nice for warming up if I'm just looking for PvP. Because, well, Factory's fun. Labs is alright too. Oh man, I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was like the 1 year mark, dude. So we went and buried her ashes and whatnot. It wasn't too bad. She was a good lady, dude. Would have liked her. Very talkative, dude. She's very personable is the word. Yeah, we'll see how the softcore stuff goes, man. It'll be interesting, I guess. But I'm just kind of I wish they would have held off like 1 fucking week, bro. It would have been kind of nice. I almost like over prepare for this stuff. Yeah, I do like 2 games for work or at the end of my shift, and I normally do Tarkov on the weekend. That's fair, man. The arena stuff too kind of keeps you. How would you say it? So you're not like rusty and whatnot if you're able to knock out a few arena matches per day and whatnot. It's a good habit. I find arena fun, dude. I do think it's genuinely fun as fuck. Maybe they gotta fix the desync issue a little bit too, I guess. But the first iteration when it first dropped, man, I mean it was cool, it was new, but it's significantly better now than what it was then though, which is kind of nice. It's in a mighty good state. Bro, are you working, is it like an 8-9 hour shift, man? Or are you gonna have to do like a 10 or 12 hour shift or what? I gotta force myself not to bring nades, man. I'm just in the habit of bringing grenades. One to 11. Damn, 10.5 hour shifts, Sunday to Wednesday. A 4-day work week, bro. That's actually a really good fucking schedule, dude. A little bit longer days, but to get that extra day off for the weekend, man, you're living pretty good right now, bro. We were talking about that at work too yesterday. It's like, dude, fuck working 5 days a week. If we could work 4 10s or even like 4 11s or shit, honestly, I'd be cool with 4 12s. Just for that extra day off, I'd be down with it. Let's see. Damn, dude, I almost killed that fucking guy too. That would have been kind of nice. We're watching, I don't know if you've heard of Mr. Mythos, man. He's got some good stuff. So we watched about, I think yesterday's stream. I had that going on for a little bit. But it was like a 2-hour video. So we watched Demons, now we're watching about Angels, dude. Kind of interesting stuff. They got the angel next to God that's like a bunch of wheels and it has eyes and like wings and feathers, bro. It's insane. They have different tiers and whatnot.
Plays such an important role in the scripture makes it seem very likely. In fact, the Bible only ever mentions 4 angels by name: Michael, Lucifer, Gabriel, and Abaddon. And if you're wondering who Abaddon is, he's only mentioned once, and the book of Revelation seems to imply that he's a fallen angel, calling him the angel of the abyss. Other than that, the Bible doesn't say much, but maybe for my follow-up episode on fallen angel demonology, I'll see if I can dig more up. But back to Gabriel. Not only is he canonical, but he's clearly quite special to be mentioned 4 times by name. It's also hard to believe that God would entrust such a significant task, the prophecies regarding the birth of Jesus, to any rank other than an archangel. So...
Oh, bro, 100%, man. Well, I grew up Catholic with my pops, man, and I stopped going for a little while. My mom passed away like a little over a year ago, and I got back into going to church. Although I haven't been going like every weekend or any of that stuff, but no. We used to do like, I don't know if you ever did like Catholic school, but like CCD on Wednesdays, man. I always wanted to go out and go play though instead, but no, we had to go do that though. Not too bad. Oh, bro, good, man. I think, well, shit, now I'm like 32 or so, man. I probably went, I mean, I didn't have anything against church, just never really went on my own. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little awkward going to church solo, but I think it's worth it, man. There's good messages and whatnot, though. Oh, yeah, bro. I turned 32 back in August. Bro, once you hit 30, dude, you gotta be careful, man. I pulled my back, like doing lawn work, and then at work, bro, oh my god, yeah. Be careful with your back, dude. Don't pull out your back. It's insane. Because then it takes forever to heal up and whatnot, too, dude. It's horrible. I've been keeping up with PT, too. And you know what I noticed, man? My left knee it's starting to hurt. So I got to get a hold of my PCM, primary care medical. I don't even know what it stands for, but my fucking doctor. I gotta find out what's up. Didn't grow up in it. My wife was more religious, started going later age, and it helped me find peace. Oh, bro, without a doubt, man. It's a lot of good messages too, and yeah, raising your kids up Catholic, Christian, it's positive lifestyle, to be honest, man. I didn't realize that growing up, but yeah, my dad had us doing a lot of stuff at the church, and you know, one thing you could do is my dad had us boys do this when we were younger too. Is we would volunteer. Not every weekend, obviously, but yeah, we'd go to this like soup kitchens, homeless shelters, or just go do lawn work and whatnot. And yeah, I don't know. It's good quality to have, man. Just go do some volunteer work around the community. Whatever kind of piques your interest, too, to be honest, man. I was on my way to that TDY up in Vegas, man. I still have to contact him. It's just, bro, work is insane right now. But an old Army retiree dude, he was my Uber driver taking me to the airport. And yeah, he's got a foundation, him and some guys over in Virginia Beach started up. I don't think it's just helping out retirees or vets, but yeah, I got his contact information, so I'm going to go see what that's about, and I might be able to round up some airmen to help out with whatever he's got going on. I told him it'd probably be a few months till I got in contact with him. Oh, yeah, bro, 100%, man. And just, finding out ways to help out your community, it's always a good freaking habit, dude. It instills good habits, too, man. I didn't realize that as a kid when my dad... I always seen it kind of like as punishment as a kid. A little bit. But it wasn't really, though, so... It's a good habit. The Air Force used to heavily emphasize volunteering, too. Because they always want to maintain that good relation with the civilian population near the base and whatnot. Oh, yeah, 100%, man. Bro, I gotta find the fucking goons, too, dude. You'll meet some good folks, too, volunteering and whatnot, too, which is kind of nice. I do have a PK. We got shots over there. Bro, there's like a scav voice over here. Bro, you're like guaranteed to find... Oh, someone's shooting at me. That actually sounded like it was coming from back over here. Fucking jabronis are over here. It's over here. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, god damn it. Dude, Lighthouse is a little cancer. I don't mind the map too much. I think it's just more so like the map design. It just kind of funnels you into a... Oh my god, bro. Look at that fucking scope, dude. Alright. The guy deserves a kill. Jeez. Look at that. It's gotta be like a 12x magnifier. Maybe it's at 3x12. Killatar is kind of a funny name. Bro, I hit him 14 fucking times, dude. I don't think I didn't kill a single scav either. That's insane, dude. It is what it is, though. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the bullets go through like one part of the body and hits the other part, so it, like, I don't know. Seems like more hits than what it actually was, but yeah, fuck, dude. That's kind of a wild, disgusting gun that he's rocking right now, but that makes him unique and classy. But shall go back though. I gotta be able to get some kills in. A little bit of progress per day is still progress though, man. It's just unfortunate I've had 2 L's in a row, but it be that way sometimes. Well, GG's again, man. Time to get ready for work. You definitely seen you hit him a handful of times in the chest. Oh, bro, 100%, man. JMS, man, have a good day at work, man. Hopefully it goes by pretty quick and whatnot too, man. 11:30. Oh, you get off a little bit later too, man. The kiddos are already asleep by then, but yeah, have a good work week, man. Peace. I appreciate it, dude. Fucking kicking ass on arena. Oh god. Let's see what these boyos are up to. What up, gays?
Yo, dude, what the heck? You've been on for a little bit. Oh, I'm guessing you just turned on your CPU. We were doing some research and going to town, hacking into Scrooge's.
You too, JMS, man. Take it easy, bud.
On how to do so, and we got to the bottom of the barrel on how to improve his internet. He needs to get a router because he has a modem where you cannot improve quality of service, QoS. So yeah, now I want to play a game.
Wait, so you can have a modem, but you don't require a router in order to have internet?
So technically, it's a 2-in-1 deal. The router allows you to do certain things like permissions and prioritization. So if you want to do specific things like encapsulate bandwidth, right? So like you get all the 5G, right? You get all the 5 gigahertz bandwidth because it's right next to you.
Is that the stuff that gives you like head cancer?
Not on this bandwidth. It's what is operating on your actual router itself. It's what broadcasts the radio signal. And yes, technically. The one that's really bad is the one that comes from your phone because that's super long range and very powerful.
Is it?
But
Oh, interesting. All right.
yeah, so the ones that operate in your home are like A, N. You might have heard of these bands, AX, N band, things like that. So they're a little bit less powerful, and they only reach the other side of your house, or pretty close in a room. Whereas, like your phone, obviously, like those broadcast from the tower are
Right.
actually transmitting like through the house, through your block, miles and miles away. Depending on how close you are to that, yeah, you get cancer for sure. I mean, could. But yeah.
So he needs to go pick up a router then, or what?
Yeah, for what he wants to do, he needs to pick up a router. So
Is he able to do Ethernet on a modem, or do you have to have a router in order to have Ethernet?
so he could, I'm assuming, have Ethernet on that. I don't know though. I didn't actually check to see the protocol for what the hardware had on it. I think maybe it can, but I'm gonna say I kind of think it has like one or two slots because it's provided by your ISP, right? So your internet service provider, that one's T-Mobile that he has,
All right.
and so it's getting like 100 download and like 20, I think, to 30 upload, something like that. And he wants it to be more, obviously, and should be, but that'll get the job done. That being said, he needs a router so that he can actually take the power of that modem that is equally dispersing and say, no, 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 stop equally dispersing. I want you to give me 60% of the power at all times and prioritize me at all times. So when I'm gaming or when I'm on Discord and when I'm streaming, because now that he's streaming, he needs more bandwidth. He needs a lot more, and it needs to be very consistent. So yeah, we kind of went through everything and gave him some education on what to look for and how to shop for it, and we even went down the gamut of Starlinks. But yeah, that's actually one of the things I'm studying right now. Well, I did study, but I am back in school again doing another computer science degree. So network securities and all that stuff. It's fun, man. Like I was so happy. He was like, dude, can you help me like get into my router? I was like, oh yeah, yeah. Here, type in this IP address, type in IP config and terminal. Let's get your MAC address. We'll prioritize you. Well, we went down that whole rabbit hole of me telling him what to do. Come to find out, T-Mobile, they specifically don't have the ability to do what is known as quality of service, which is a bare bones basic thing that you want, but it's a mobile device, like, bandwidth, like provided by T-Mobile, as opposed to like Comcast or Xfinity or some big company that, is providing more bandwidth.
Yeah, yeah.
So they went bare bones, and though it works, and it gives you like pretty good, output when you don't have the ability to have broadband. I think he doesn't have broadband where he's at is the issue. So right now he is operating off of wavelengths of the tower frequencies, right? And both towers near his house are like really deprecated. They're doing really, really bad, like 60% of what they should. So
Are they? Is
he's
that
gonna
just
get
wear and tear over time? They just don't output as much?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
just
You know
because it's
what?
older
That's
technology?
that's yeah. No, that's both great questions actually. That's funny that you say that. Yeah, it's both things,
All
but
right.
typically what it is it's loss of power over time dynamically, because of the fact that two things happen. One,
Oh,
the
bro,
signal strength
did you just flip me off, dude?
diminishes. What?
Did you
No,
just? Yeah, you did, mother. Nah.
I swear to God, I didn't mean
It was
to.
my pointer finger, okay, Wealthy?
Yeah, it's my pointer finger. But yeah, man, like radio towers, all that stuff. Like my phone, I'm dealing with that with AT&T. He's dealing with that with his internet, which is god awful.
All right.
But the reality is they deprecate over time. The actual towers themselves, yeah, like they start to burn up. Parts of the bandwidth are going to actually get interference, and they have to be improved upon because it's just other tower signals going out and drowning it out and making it shitty. So when people talk about like, oh, my tower used to work and now it's not working. Well, yeah, there's maintenance that has to be done because there's another bandwidth coming through that's
Just like,
actually bleeding through and eating up that signal. So it cancels it out. So yeah, to a degree. Um, and just like any other hardware, like your Wi-Fi card, over time it'll heat up and melt.
all right.
So yeah.
I mean, isn't the same with like CPUs too? Just over
Yeah.
time,
Yep.
they just
Yep.
deteriorate. That's just from like normal wear and tear, though, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy, but they actually diminish the power. So here's the other crazy thing, right? They'll say, "Oh yeah, your tower is only working at like 65%, right?" So if you're getting your internet that way or your phone that way, well, it's because they're turning down the power because they know they need to work on it and they are going to overheat it and they're trying to repair it, but they can't get anyone to go out there and service it yet because there's just so many fucking towers everywhere.
Oh, is
So
there a
yeah.
backlog on this stuff or what?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's two towers right next to me right now that are owned by AT&T. Used to be owned by Verizon, that are deprecated, and I think that they just did some work on it. I've got at least a couple bars of service right now, which is good. But yeah, for him, he ended up calling up. I called their tech support to be like, "Hey, can we do this?" And they said, "Absolutely not." I said, "Oh, you need a router." So I just directed him that way. But yeah, over time they deprecate. I mean, it's just it wears down, It is what it is. But oh yeah, and then the other thing is this: like as you upgrade your stuff, um, the protocols, those need to be updated from the transmission side too. Right?
Explain.
So when
What do you
it's
mean by protocols? What the hell does that mean? Is that
yeah,
just like directions or something like that?
I've said this. Well, yeah, exactly. So how they communicate. So everybody has a MAC address, right?
All right.
That is a communications address. And basically what will happen is that's part of the protocol, but have you ever heard of this? IVP4, I've said this so many times today, IVP4 and IVP6. Have you ever seen that before?
I might have, yeah.
It's specifically the protocol that your router or your signal is going to be passing any of that information to other nodes, is what they call them, or computers, or whatever, different devices. So what happens is, as you get a new iPhone, it may be IPv6, and it'll kind of work IPv4, which is like an older model that has like less licenses and identities. And as that runs out over time, IPv4 protocol passing data back and forth runs out of spaces because there's so many devices that exist on the planet, and you can only have one MAC address for each one. So your computer has a solid MAC address. Your laptop, like anything, has your PS5. Each one has an independent and like a fingerprint. Like each one has a specific number. Well, they run out of that in that protocol, and so they have to create a new protocol, IPv6, right, to expand and to add more numbers because we have so many devices. In the 80s, it wasn't a big deal, right? Because you didn't have like everyone with a cell phone. But now you've got billions of devices, and it just loads it up, and now there's just no more identities for MAC addresses. So now what they have to do is to be able to handle all those devices, you can't have the old protocols as much because they're not going to be able to have a MAC address for it, number one. Okay? So because it has to do a handshake and say, oh, that's not been taken in the IPv4 domain, right? So they're running, it's like running out of websites. Eventually, dogfart.com was taken by somebody. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
So IPv6 protocol, and these are the protocols that they work on, expands on that and goes into the exponential values of like trillions of devices that you can utilize. I'm using hexadecimal code, and hexadecimal numbers are base 8, as opposed to using binary or base 2. So yeah, exponentially, it's an insane amount of numbers of things that it can pass and interact with. So the protocols are what allows it to do the handshake to say, hey, you've got a live stream going. Cool. I'm gonna pass that data here. It doesn't do it faster necessarily, but it's how reliable it is, because somebody on this planet might also have your MAC address on accident stored in some other logged device because we ran out of them. So yeah, it's the protocols, and they have to be able to work between those two. So
So they have like almost like infinitely more protocols, so that you have better quality internet, basically.
Exactly, and actually, it's more reliable internet. It's not faster, but it's more reliable, so it doesn't cut out and be destroyed. That's the entire gamut with it. So IPv4 said, hey, look, we can get you connected to a wireless device. And before we did streaming and video games online and watching movies and just streaming, it didn't matter that much. Your
real quick,
would go up and down. Yeah.
Yo, real quick. I'm not doing the router thing, and I'm not staying with T-Mobile. I'm grabbing fiber back.
Sick. Good job.
You know how much it costs me?
How much?
$25 a month.
Nice. Okay, that's perfect, dude. Good job. Way good job. See, that's what you need to do. I was hoping you would go.
I really don't. I did not want to go with this company because their fucking customer support is fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the first person I get to talk to,
I like your background, Scrooge.
I guarantee you, the first person that I talked to was from fucking Bangladesh, but at least I could understand him a little bit.
I see it.
Well, more than a little bit. I could actually understand him. Okay, it's broken English, but I could fucking understand him. On the phone with him for 15 minutes.
Yes.
I was on the phone with him for 15 goddamn fucking minutes.
15 long minutes, yes. Come to the quickie mart.
And we were literally just about to schedule when the technician's coming out to fucking install the shit, right?
Yeah.
And then mid-sentence, all I hear is a fucking AI robot. Please hold while we transfer your call. I immediately get to another person, a female. That's all I could make out. Okay? I kid you not a fucking lick of English. Not a lick of English.
Sweet, man. Like, that sounds like an adventure and a half, especially when you're trying to get help.
But now, the person that I'm talking to now, she lives 3 miles away from me.
Oh, you're gonna go on a date with her?
No, but she's Mexican.
Wealthy, I think he's going on a date with this girl. Sounds like it could be a match made in heaven.
The older the berry, the sweeter the juice.
I had to. No, she sounds youngish. But when I had to give her my address, obviously, right? And when I did that, she went, "Oh, I live 3 miles away from you."
Yeah, like. And that doesn't scare you at all, does it? Hopefully. Like, what if she's, like, just going to come over to your house later?
And rape him? There's always a real probability of that, Scrooge.
Scrooge isn't afraid of much, but Mexicans are certainly not on that list.
Oh, man. Like, yeah, they're fine.
Wealthy, are you still streaming?
Yeah, I got the stream up.
Yeah, so I'm going to just leave it at that.
I had the Mexican lady over when I was at El Centro Naval Air Facility, and she was the cleaner lady. Really nice lady. I was talking to her. I had to get some new towels and whatnot, but she asked me how old I was. I was like, I turned 32 here in a few weeks. Oh, honey, you look so young. You look so young. For like 2 minutes, dude. I was like, oh god.
Hey, Carter.
Yeah.
You watching the camera?
Yeah. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I knew you were gonna do something offensive, you son of a bitch. I've gotten more used to things. You remember back when I was like very innocent to this and I would be like, wait, what was that? Now I just go, yeah, fuck it, man. Like, I've really become one of the crew, guys. I don't get bothered by anything.
I'm not gonna lie. I've corrupted a lot of you motherfuckers.
You might have done a little bit of corruption, especially with that specific demographic of 2% people. It doesn't, listen, you gotta, but it's more like this. I just didn't realize that they were running so many things. That's the only thing. And don't get yourself banned again, all right? From freaking Instagram or whatever. Lord Zuckerberg is coming for you.
Dude, I got shadow banned for some fucking reason. I didn't do shit.
He gon' get your ass.
It's not surprising that Gabriel is a staple on these lists. So despite his name, which translates to the might of God, it's clear that Gabriel's specialty is not combat or destruction, but that of a herald and a messenger. Centuries before his appearance in the New Testament, Gabriel actually shows up twice in the Old Testament's Book of Daniel, written in the 2nd century BC, both times delivering messages to the prophet. First,
All right, what is it?
She's coming over. It's a lucky duck, man. You get one of those tech ladies, you know. You never have to worry about anything ever again. This is a horrible camera, by the way. I need to actually not use
All right, I
the
have
built-in.
077 094 394 5101.
That seems like a card number. I'm watching Wealthy stream.
Somebody's above. Somebody is freaking above. Alright, we're W King it. I don't know where this Punto is. I don't even know if you can get up there, to be honest. We don't have accountability for that noise I heard up at the mountain, but as far as I could tell, he wasn't up there. Either he went this way or he went down to the main road. I think it's more likely that he went to the chalet. Well, now I'm getting a little scared, because I have no idea. He was to the fucking right, bro. I think it may just be one of those days, baby. I am too tired to play. I think I'm going to say probably 3 or 4 kits I lost. I can keep going and maybe get 1 or 2 kills, but I think I'm just too fucking tired. I'm just going to keep losing kits, and it's kind of a waste of money and time, to be honest. So I'm probably just going to kill it there. It's an hour and 45-minute stream. 46. Not too bad. I still got to stay up for like at least 2 hours or so. Or maybe I'll go to sleep, and then we'll just do another little baby stream before work on tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But, we're going to call it there. What was this guy's name? Mo Glittos. Oh, GG's, man. I think he one-tapped me in the head, too. I'm pretty certain. He was to the fucking right, bro. I normally go right all the time when going down that road. But I thought there was a probability that the dude on the mountain might be to the left over by the tennis court, so I stuck on the left-hand side. And it got me fucking killed. I don't even know if it was a scav that threw that stun. It could have been the PMC. I just heard it blow up and then the scav scream. Which would have indicated that a PMC had thrown the stun grenade. I don't know. I'm too tired for this, though. We'll be back on either later on tonight or tomorrow afterwards.